Hi friends, today we are going to see SketchUp Pro. It is version 2016. It is basically a 3D animation program. It is not really for animation, it is a 3D creation program. You can do the basic animation, and it is meant for common man to create a 3D model. It is an easy to learn 3D modeling program that enables you to explore the world in 3D. With just a few simple tools, you can create 3D models of houses, shed, decks, homes, furnitures, things like that. Let us go into the interface of this application. Don't get puzzled with too much of tools. It is all additional tools. Basic tools are this whatever is there in here in the toolbox, and it is a duplication. A 3D artist or 3D designer, you might have seen they'll be using a screen full of object menus, tools, symbols, and the screen will be mostly divided into four pieces with a black screen in four pieces. One window he'll be creating, another window he'll be viewing, and the rendering application will be separate. It's a life is a hell. That's why most of the 2D people, they never enter into 3D. They fear 3D because first of all, these 3D applications are very expensive, and creating and manipulating 3D object in 3D application makes your life miserable. It needs lot of training. With SketchUp Pro, you can visualize objects in 3D. You can see your ideas in 3 dimension just by using a tool similar to 2D. You can create 3D models, home project, even documents, starting from simple cube up to a spaceship. That kind of complicated designs it can handle. And once you have built your models, you can place them anywhere. You can export it to CAD files, 3D application, or post them in 3D warehouse. 3D warehouse is the world's largest repository of 3D objects created by various artists. You can download it and use it. You need not create complicated of objects. That means you don't have to reinvent the wheels. There are simple objects available. You can import it and use it in your 3D application, uh, and you can print it also hard copies. This application is almost like spoon feeding. Whenever you click a tool, it teaches you how to use the tool. Here you see the instructor, just like you just follow the instructor, just push it down, push it up, the 2D objects will become 3D. The original program SketchUp was acquired in 2006 by Google, and it got instant popularity because no other 3D model was as easy to understand as SketchUp. Now, SketchUp is used at home, schools, working environments, and even 3D artists. They are adapting SketchUp Pro for their daily use. There was a time when 3D artists, they were sitting in sophisticated offices, and their softwares are very expensive, and the total project cost is too heavy to handle by normal people. So very few people were using it, and the applications were using very complex mathematical instructions, and the visualization, the approach towards the 3D is also totally different. It has to be like when you make a square, it has to be, you have to think like 3D. Now here you just create a 2D object and convert it into 3D. That means you are using your familiar tools. Google released SketchUp for free because they wanted to popularize the concept of 3D among everybody. Instead of relying on a small number of 3D nerds to get around modeling, Google made SketchUp available who wants to participate, like modeling millions of building and other objects, and they wanted a lot of people to use it. With SketchUp Pro, anybody without any knowledge about the 3D, they can create something productive within a few hours of launching the program and working on it. There is no thick manuals, no special geometry concept to understand. Modeling in SketchUp is about just grab your mouse and making something. Only thing, your mouse should have a scroll wheel. Everything with the scroll wheel, you can zoom the object and pan the object. Once you make a 3D object, you can apply a lot of materials. The material is there. You can just select the object, apply the material, it applies to it. Whether it is the materials, you see this one for landscaping, asphalt, brick, carpet and plain colors, transparent things, mirrors, glass like effect, window, metal, patterns, roofing, stone, synthetic surfaces, tiles, water, window coverings and wood also. In addition, you can create your own texture and patterns as per your needs. You just see the power of SketchUp. This is the 3D warehouse image. They have created the tallest building in the world in 3D. It is just about, when you see this design, you can find this kind of structures. Any newcomer, they can develop and animate it in SketchUp Pro. You might have seen this structure in movies. This is another image to demonstrate the power of Google SketchUp or SketchUp Pro. It is a house created in SketchUp. It is taken from warehouse, 3D warehouse, and when you zoom it, you can see what is inside the house also. That kind of perfection you can get. You can zoom in, zoom out. You can create trees, grass, background, sun, natural lightings, including right from within the application. You can go to 3D warehouse. You can get models right inside the application. It can go to 3D models and you can use it. Any available 3D objects, you can use it. These are the manufacturers. You can sign in to the website, company website. You can publish your work there also. Use it in the later stage from anywhere else. There is import and export option. Import as 2D or 3D, anything. You can not only create geometric object, you can create this kind of rough designs also, natural products like stones, leaves. You can create your own logo and you can animate it. This kind of thing doesn't need any expertise. You can just create logo, assign texture, put lighting, adjust lighting, and move it in 360, or you can make a walkthrough around your designs. Let us understand the concept of 3D and see how this application is different from other 3D application, why it is very easy to understand and learn. Let us see the layout module in SketchUp Pro 2016. Layout is just to create a layout like a CAD drawing or illustrations. It is a simple layouting program. It is a 2D application. In the preferences window, you see the option to choose applications. Application in the sense the native application. If it is a line drawing, you can choose Illustrator, and if it's a bitmap, you can choose Photoshop. The object will be opening in their native applications to edit. And you can choose different options for application interface, where to store your backup files, and define different folders to keep your materials and presentation and your scale factor. When you create an object, you have to define the scaling, and very important thing is to have keyboard shortcuts. Keyboard shortcuts. Not all the keyboard shortcuts are given. The application gives you the option to define the keyboard shortcuts. You just after selecting this menu items, just click on the keyboard. It will appear in the window below, just like the Shift L. You can define your own shortcuts, which is not interacting, not clashing with any other shortcuts. You can save it with your application. Many keyboard shortcuts can clash with your existing applications. So they have given you to choose the. Let us see how to start with this. Simple 2D drawing just from making a line, any vector, object, line, rectangle, and ellipse tool you'll be using frequently. It behaves exactly like any other drawing application. Plus, it gives the title or dimension tools also. That is like a CAD application. It is both a layout application and as well as CAD drawing application. It's a pen tool or a pencil tool. You can create straight line. With pressing shift, the line can be constrained to a particular angle, 90 degrees, and smart guides can guide you where to connect. You need not have guidelines or manual guidelines. It's not required. It's giving a smart guide. It's showing where your cursor is and where it will touch. This is a simple way of making your life easy. And for a curve, the same tool can work as a spline tool also. Just click and drag. It can give an angle by which you can rotate your lines. Constraint angle, you can define the angle of constraint. It can stop. It can click at every 10 degree, 20 degrees, like that.
Like in any illustration program, the angle can be defined here also. And once you make the line work, you can color it like any other application. You can fill it, you can stroke it. The next tool is arc. You can create an arc very easily without going through making circle and dividing the circle. You can straight away create an arc at a predefined angle. You can go on connecting the arcs also to have a complete diagram. Just I'm doing it a freehand, like drawing without any measurement or any purpose. Without clicking the mouse, you drag the mouse, it will give a dotted line, give you a guide how the arc will appear. There is a joining tool. You can join different paths. You cannot join different paths, uh, points from different paths. You have to select the open paths of the same object to join. You can. There is a live demo also. It is given in the application. When the moment you choose the tool, it gives animated demo, and this is connected to online help also. Just you click there, and your help page will open. You can learn it also. This is a stroke, fill and stroke. It's a universal tool. You just select and fill it. The handles, what you are seeing is for manipulation. It is scaling and distorting. You can scale it, move it, and distort it. They have given multiple arrows for doing different operations together. When you click the corner point, it will scale uniformly. If you select the center point, it scales non-uniformly, and you can rotate the pages, rotate the object, and the dimensions also shown. When you move the object or rotate the object, you can see the dimensions exactly what you are doing. It will give. The object selected is something else, not in the filled circle. Selection tool. You can select, move, or fill any object with the selection tool. The shape styles tool can help you define your fill, either color or pattern, define your stroke, and the corner properties of paths, if it is a straight angled corner or a curved corner. Like a typical illustration program, you can use this application. It is available through the menu also. Just all the path operation you can execute by menu also. I have not opened you any menu. Filling gives, it's a standard Macintosh fill tool. Color selection can be in four different ways. You can choose by color wheel, crayons, RGB, CMYK. Many options available. Now it is arc tool. You can create a single arc or even semicircle. The more you experiment with your tools, you get more options. Some color magnification tool, you can check the edges exactly what color is coming. The arc can be 2-point arc or 3-point arc. Click, drag, and rotate. It gives an arc, 3-point arc. You can use the colors to further modify the arc. You can make a perfect circle also. Circle tool is already there. It's an arc. Not, it is arc will not be joined. The path will be open always. This is a pi tool. The same tool as an arc. Create a part of the circle. It's a closed circle. The lines will be closed. See, there are three types of pi tools are there. That is a freehand tool. You can create a freehand object. Pi tool has 2-point and 3-point arc, arcs. In case you need some freehand drawing like pen or pencil tool, you can use the Bezier freehand tool. It is not Bezier, it is a freehand tool. There is a Bezier option is also available. Just long press the tool. You have freehand, either straight line or freehand. Again the pi tool. Let us go to rectangle tool. Just click and drag. Click one corner and drag. You get a rectangle. Rectangle can be sharp edges, or you can make the corner into a radius. Choose your own color shape. You can make the rectangle as a corner rectangle. The path you can modify, straight path or dotted lines. You can choose the color. The path, straight path, can be converted into double-headed arrows also, double-headed or single-headed arrows. You can choose the dimension in millimeter or point or any inches. Stroke dimensions. You can have a fill also, object fill. SketchUp layout application gives different fills, classified list of fill options. Mostly these applications are used for architectural drawings, so they have given fill for many patterns that is used in architectural drawings like bricks, wall, tiles, things like that. You can choose, or you can create your own tiles also. This for garden. It is symbolizing some trees or garden lawn. Even colored patterns also available that can give you an impression that you are creating a floor. There are simple lines also, repeating lines, vertical lines. You can rotate and the lines can change the color as per the color you have chosen in your default fill. It is a rough line like a pencil sketch like thing. The pattern you can rotate also with a rotation tool. These are all textures for lawn, grass. You can rotate the angle of the pattern. Parking lot. You can rotate or even scale the object also. You can enlarge or reduce the pattern. This you can use for fencing purposes, fencing or even gardens. Mostly they use for aerial view of trees. These are the standard architectural drawing patterns. Without explaining, people will understand there is a tree here or there is a lawn here, there is a parking area. When you see the lines, you understand there is a parking area. With the pattern mixed with colors, you can create lot of effects for your presentation. It is a 2D drawing, the best for creating uh, floor layout. That is the basic in any drawing. Floor layout or even any kind of presentation purposes, you can use this layout. Now we are trying the ellipse tool. The same circular tool, you extend it, it becomes ellipse tool. Circle tool gives the perfect circle, and the ellipse you can extend it. This is polygon tool. you can create a polygon with multiple faces. The tools are there, whatever you need not go to the illustration application to create simple objects. In case you need some complicated object, you need to go to the native application. Otherwise, everything is given and it is easy to use also right inside the SketchUp Pro. Before you jump into the 3D creation, you have to try this. These are the basic operations to make a layout for 3D. It's a preparatory step for going to into 3D. You should understand how the objects behave. The same thing you can take it to 3D application, and the concept of 3D is different. Why they have given it as three different applications? So one is layout, another one is 3D, and the last one is style creator. That is for creating standard styles that can be used for many other applications, many repeatable patterns or anything. You can create a standard style. Suppose you want to convert your drawing into a pencil sketch like a rough finish, you can do it with a style creator. You can change the appearance of the stroke. You can make it really like a hand drawn sketch with a style creator. There is a third module. Now we are in a layout module, just trying the object tools, scaling, and skewing. Everything you can do it here. With the handles, you can do moving, scaling, and rotating also. Just stretch the center point, anchor tool. You can rotate the object. It is not only limited to filling and stroking. The dimension tool gives the option to label it also. Label it, or you can know the dimensions. Just the labeling tools can give an option to label it. Just click and drag. It can give a handle like exactly you are doing in your school, labeling the science objects. The label can be inside or outside also. You can write anything inside. This will be useful for your layout purposes, presentation purposes. Just make something and label it. Even you can use this facility for flow chart also. You can create any number of shapes and label it either from inside or outside. You can define your color, stroke, and label also. Very convenient for demo purposes. Your presentation, before sending to customer, you can label it and send it. It can give You can give your remarks in each object. Further fine details, explanation, you can add it together. You can send it. And layout tool, it can print it in your A4 size, or you can use any office printer to make it as a document also, or you can save it as a document and attach to your mail also. You can export to any format including SketchUp or PDF. This portable document format, you can send it across to your clients for approval, and you can make a prototype of your projects. Along with the labeling tools, you have dimension tools also. Just click and drag. It gives the measurement of the object from any point to any point. you can get the measurement of the object. If you are making a rectangle square also, you can, or any angular sub object, it can give the dimension and the angle of between the two lines. It's a very fantastic facility for those who are doing CAD drawings. It is like measuring with a protractor or any measuring tool. Just from point to point, it can give you the angle. It can be useful for some complicated areas where you cannot measure the angles by normal any other methods. So you'll be using angle tools to create angles. Slicing tools, split tools. It can split the lines into a filled object into two or three. You can cut and remove it.
I told you in the layout application with SketchUp layout application, it's a layout module. You can create your floor plan in 5 minutes flat. I'm trying to do it. House floor plan. I'm not an architect, so for me it is difficult to make it in any other program. But it gives us a easy way of making your walls and partitions. It automatically aligns to spaces touching one another object wise. You can create rectangle, square, ellipse, whatever you want to show the position of the furniture, table, things like that. Even bathroom, toilet, corridor. Just a simple skeletal floor plan, and just put the dimension, and you finish. You can put the dimension. I'm not doing it any accurate way, but you'll have to do it. Click and drag, connect to one point to another. It can give the dimension automatically. In case the dimension tool can double as the modifier also. Dimension flexibility you don't have in any other application. Any other drawing to application will not have this kind of easy easy dimensional tool. It's a measurement tool as well as dimension marker. You can fill it with whatever pattern, color, anything you like to differentiate between the floors and other things. The checkbox mark is an indication of transparency, or you can consider as a tiling area. You can specify a garden area, entrance. After you finish, it will look something like this. You have all the tools, all the fill patterns to differentiate between walls, floor, passage, and garden also. Garden, lawn, grass, anything. You can differentiate between objects and send it across. You can make a printout or even export to other formats like CAD format or SketchUp format. Export it and use it as the base material for further 3D construction. We have almost done a simple floor plan of a house without windows or and doors. It's just a floor plan. The areas you can fill with your favorite fill patterns. When you save, you have the option to save it as a SketchUp file or layout file. You can export as AutoCAD format, DWG. You can import the file in SketchUp Pro. Okay, the main thing in preference is to assign the keyboard shortcuts. In SketchUp Pro, as such, there is no shortcut given. You can assign, press the combination of keys, and it will be saved as a keyboard shortcut for every function. See, the keyboard function you will have to define. There are some keyboard functions, the others you can define it. You can choose the keyboard shortcuts in such a way it doesn't interact with, clash with the other applications in your computer. Everything it is given, it is showing assigned keyboard. Just press Ctrl Shift W, it is coming here, and you can save it. But most of the things, even it, you can use backspace, space bar, alt button, or anything in combination with the keyboard shortcut. In general preferences, you can create it. It has an auto backup facility. It can save your files every 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever you assign here. And these are the folders where you save your materials, extensions, either official or unofficial extension you can use in. There are some aspects you can study it yourself. Easy to understand. The workspace you can reset. I have used the large toolbox. If I reset the workspace, it becomes, this is the default. In window, there is a model info. It can save geolocations, rendering styles, statistic, text, units, components, classification, things like that, animation. Before we really start anything new, we'll have to see the layout module. That is the basic. From the layout module, you create anything and bring it here. Now here, it is very inconvenient to create a 2D layout. Like suppose you are creating a house layout, home layout, or office layout with accurate position and dimension and furniture position, things like that, furniture, windows, doors, like that. You'll have to first design in 2D, then you can make it into 3D. For that, there is an application called Layout. It is a part of Google SketchUp Pro. Let us start with a simple 3D object. Let us start with the cylinder, circle, and push-pull action can make it as a cylinder. This surface, each surface it has two surfaces. One is the cylinder object, another one is two faces. The faces can be rotated separately, and it will rotate along with the faces. The face can be rotated separately, but it moves along with the cuts of the cylindrical surface. You can put a color. You can duplicate the object by clicking Control, select the whole object, press Control and move this object. It moves. It duplicates the object. You can assign different color, texture to each object. And for each surface also can be a separate color. This is the simplest form of a 3D object. You can select any of the faces and remove this. It will show the internal things. The same way, if you can select a single element from the sides also, it can show the inside. Like the same way, you can extrude the faces separately. Both top and bottom you can extrude it separately to make it as a different object. When it is pushed down, it will make it as a hollow object. When you push it up, it makes a different appearance. The same way, you can create a rectangle or cube with the push-pull tools. You can fill different colors to different faces, and whatever object you make next to it, when you make the object, you can find whether it is going in X, Y or Z axis. Again, in the next object you can extrude it. When you bring this object closer, you are making another object the same axis. Let us move it close to it. So it is sitting inside the first object, first cube. When you extrude it, it merges with the other object, initial object. Suppose I put a different color here. This way you go on making a complex object. Even if you are making a ellipse here and you extrude it, it is a part of the object. Again, you put another effect for this. Like this, you can create any complex object with. Now, when you select it, when you move the object, it will be detached. The faces will be detached. Like this. When you group all the objects together, it can move together. Until you group it, it will become, it can be detached. Even single faces can be detached or modified like this. Even with a rotate tool, you can rotate it. You rotate it in the proper axis to avoid unwanted shape. Now you can just rotate it. The whole object attached to all the objects attached to this cube will be rotating, adjusting to shape. This is the rotator rectangle tool. I am making a rectangle. It is X, Y, Z, any axis you can make this rectangle. Now, if you are rotating like this, it shows the guide, which side it can go. From here, when you make like this, it it completes the cube. Individual faces you need not create, since um, already there is a push pull tool to create a cube. You need not create individual faces unless it is for some special purpose or some special like this. You can make a push pull and make it as a separate object. This object is hollow. The most important aspect of this tool is to create, you can create mostly construction related things like house, wall, surfaces. You create a floor like this. I made another rectangle. Now if I extrude this, and here also both I am extruding, it gives mixed. The result is a mixed extrusion. Different shape and sizes can be combined to make a special object. You can fill anything with this. If you want to have a multiple layer also, you can make it. Just select all and press Ctrl and shift it up. It becomes another floor or another object above. Suppose if you are making a home design, this is very useful in making a home design. In SketchUp Pro, making a cube is little tricky. I am making a circle like this and another circle to the horizontal position. Just not align it, but there is a follow me path. This is the follow me path. Select it and rotate. It becomes an globe. You have to rotate 360 degree, or any small fragment also you can make it to get a part of the globe. You make a complete rotation to make a full globe, completely filled globe, or you can make a part of the globe. Again, try rotating it again. When both the circles are matching, perpendicularly matching and is equal, exactly same, it can create a globe within no seconds, within no time. It's a complete globe. The same way, if this path is a vector line work, this globe can follow the line. Instead of creating a globe, it can create a tube also. Suppose I have a line like this with the follow me path, it can create a tubular structure. If we make a line perpendicular to this circle and use this follow me, the follow me path gives a pipe structure, tubular structure. The length will be equivalent to the path length. The tube is also covered both ends. You can remove these faces to make it as a hollow tube. Now this tube is hollow. You can see through inside. Instead of circle, if you are using a multi polygon tool, the tube becomes polygon shape. Let us see the layout module in detail. Individual tools. Now we are in arc tool. Click a point, drag it, and click again and start drawing.
It is exactly like drawing with your instrument box, compass, compass and pencil, and it gives a guideline and it gives the point where it starts and point where it can end. The arc can be combined, different arcs, different strokes can be combined. It is a 90-degree arc, and if you want to make a parallel line, you can make it because it saves the starting point. You see the point, starting point, it remains in memory. You can click and drag from the starting point, make an arc, concentric circles you can make. The same way, you can join one arc to the another in different angles, or you can make a crosshair also to make a cutting mark. You can use this arc tool. This way, if you want to make a mathematical drawing with a cutting mark between the lines, you can make it through the arc tool. It's simple and very flexible. You can choose the radial point anywhere and make a circle. Any part of the circle you can make with starting from, and the menu there is a 2 point arc. Click, make another point and drag it. It will become a semicircle. You are defining 2 points to make a circle. While making circle, you can define the line width, line color also. It gives perfect indication with the guide dotted lines appearing. It can show you exactly from where it starts and where it ends. Whenever you find it difficult to make a curved line with a pencil tool, you can do it with a arc tool, combining edges. When you select any tool, you have in get you can get ready-made instruction from instructor tool, instructor box. It gives the real demo of the tools how they work. With every tool, you can combine the shift and alt function. In Mac, it is shift and option to constrain the angle and the position. These are some of the example. You can exactly control the position of the arc and fit into any place where you want them to fit, or you can combine different arcs to make a complex geometry. Normally, you will not be able to do with the pencil tool. Now it's a pi tool. We have already seen it. It gives a filled circle. You can make a part of the circle with different colors and lines. Without going through many tools, you can create shapes like this. Here we are seeing the rectangle tool. The rectangle tool has an option to curve the corners. Again, you press shift, it gives the uniform rectangle. You press alt to give you draw from the center. Now you are drawing from the center. It's a perfect shift alt. These are the controlling parameters. Now rounder tool, the rectangle will have a rounded corner. Again, the same constraint is the shift and alt. Now let us see the bulge tool. The same rectangle menu, there is a bulge tool. It gives a rectangle with a center bulged. The middle portion, it will be bulging. This effect you can use for creating a capsule type. Here also the modifier keys are shift and alt. Now we can see the angular dimensions. Select any object, click one end to the other end and draw it to get an angular dimension. You need not measure it. It measures and draws an angular dimension. You have a pie like this. You just click it and the guideline shows where you want to measure. Just click it outside and drag it to position the dimension. That gives exact angular dimension. Click point to point. If you are clicking outside, it may measure the outer dimension. Now we can see how we can split the path. There is a split tool. Just click from one point to other point. It will become two objects. The lines will be divided into two. You can check the instructor panel to understand the basics. Any object can be divided into two.
Let us see the basic functioning of a 3D application, the concept behind it. The 3D, any 3D application has axis, three axes, X, Y, Z. X, Y, and Z for depth of the object. They have given some human image to understand the three axes. We can delete it now. You bring the window to a convenient position so that you can understand and view the object in a position very convenient to you. Just click and drag, you can create a circle. This tool is lofting or extrusion, what do you call. It becomes a 3D object. Any 3D object is made up of edges and surfaces. Edges in the sense, when you enlarge the object, you can see this is the edge of the object, and 3D objects are created with only lines, straight lines. Even if you are creating a circle, it is coming as a straight line. Multiple straight lines joined together to make a circle. And The surface, this is the surface. In SketchUp Pro, you can delete the surface to make it as a hollow object. In fact, the object is not made solid, it is a surface modeling. It is called a surface modeling, as if you are making an object with a thin piece of paper. With a cardboard box, you are creating some object for modeling the same way you are creating in 3D. SketchUp Pro is a surface modeling program, and there are other applications that uses solid modeling. Solid modeling is a filled up version. An object you create, if you are not able to remove the surfaces, that is solid modeling. When the object is solid, you will not be able to remove any surfaces from the solid. When you cut the object into two, it becomes two solid objects. In SketchUp Pro, it is surface modeling. The inside is hollow. The advantage is you can design, you open up the object and see what is inside, or you can create an inside object without any problem. Since the object is hollow, you can create whatever you need inside. Suppose you are creating a house, you can furnish the house inside and see in 3D. Otherwise, you will have to create a surface object for the walls. Everything you have to make separately. Here it is not like that. Suppose you want to increase the thickness of the wall, you can do it here, right here. It becomes a wall. The solid modeler, it is used for creating machine spare parts like gears and other things. That means it is like creating an object with a clay. The total concept is different, the thinking is different, 3D visualization is different in both applications. There are applications like SolidWorks, FormZ, and Autodesk Inverter. They all create solid models. SketchUp Pro is a surface modeler. Mostly mechanical engineers and industrial designers, they use solid modelers. The difference is the way the mathematics are used. The engineers who work in machineries, they use solid model because they need to define the volume and weight of the object. Being able to calculate the volume of an object means that you can figure how much it will weigh, for example. Also, special machines can produce real-life prototypes directly from a solid model file. These prototypes are handy for seeing how a lot of little things are going to fit together, how when they move it, how they interact with each other. And what we are seeing here is a polygonal diagram. This one is made up of small lines, straight lines, everything straight lines, even if the object is curved. Even you have a curved curve tool, you have a spline tool also. You can make perfect curves. When you enlarge and see, you can see, then ultimately it is going to be a combination of straight lines. When you use a curved line, it is called spline. Many applications use curved lines. That is useful for creating nature related products like trees, leaves, things like that. And they can reach photorealistic results. In SketchUp Pro, it is not photorealistic, but you can effectively define an object and show it to your customer as a 3D. Since SketchUp Pro is non-photorealistic, you can really make a hand-drawn effect of any object like engineering drawing, home layout, floor plans, many things like that. SketchUp Pro is having three modules, as I told you earlier. One is for layout, other is for 3D. SketchUp Pro even uses an animation just by moving the camera around. It is not very advanced, but your job will be done. Simple animations, you can do it and export it as a movie. The main advantage of SketchUp Pro is the program is very popular and it can accept any file format from other applications including Illustrator line drawing, AutoCAD files, 3D Studio files, anything. You don't have to create anything from scratch. You can create objects. Your starting material can be any object from the web. There are thousands of objects in various subjects available from the 3D warehouse. You can directly import it from the 3D warehouse. You'll be surprised to see the objects from 3D warehouse. They are so advanced. You don't have to do everything again and again. You can get, if you are importing a file like this, you can get so much of objects. This is the 3D warehouse, the extension warehouse. There are this the application is very simple, and sometimes you will feel we need some extra facilities to enhance the functioning. There are facilities given as extensions. Most of them are free. Some of them you may have to pay. These are the categories for architecture, construction, education, engineering, gaming, civil, interior design, kitchen and bathroom, landscape and architecture, urban planning, woodworking and others. Lot of classification is there. Categories. This is the 3D warehouse site. You can scroll through the categories and import any 3D models. There is no more secrecy in people. People share from small machine part to car models. They share in their website. And extension, it is also a classified list of extension. You can just open it and you see the description. If you find it is useful, you can download it. Before we see another example, let us see the dimension tools. Dimension tool gives a dimension also, the same time it gives a guideline also. Just drag from one point to another point, it gives the dimension, the same time it becomes a guideline. The labeling tool, it gives the dimension as label, default label. Starting point, ending point, it gives in the dimension, the unit specified in your preferences. Whatever I'm doing is random. It's not as per measure or any methods followed. Just to show you the tools, I'm doing like this. The dimension tool gives guides. At the point where you stop the tool, it creates a guide. Any object can be started with the guide or any corner as a center. You can create any image, any shape. Let us try some fill effects also. This is water. It's a glass effect. Basically, these are all textures of bitmaps. You can have your own textures also. Any bitmap you can convert into filling, texture filling. You fill with colors or textures. Texture you have wood, metal, cloth, carpet, tiling, and a lot of things are there. You can choose your filling according to your needs. We shall try to create another object with a circle. Pull the circle to make a cylinder. With an angled rectangle, you can make a rectangle. Again, push pull to create a cube out of it. When you make a circle in right angle, intersecting circle, with that we can make a sphere out of it with the follow me tool. Follow me tool can make a sphere out of. When we make it perfectly, it becomes a complete sphere. Now there is a gap. The follow me tool can follow any path that is attached to any shape. The tubular structure will become that shape. I made a path like this in an angle. Just at the tip of the path you can make a polygon, and with the follow me tooth you can make the polygon into a tube. The shape cross section of the tube becomes the polygon shape. The shape of the pipe or tube is the polygon shape. It is a filled up polygon. You can open it at the both edges to make it as a pipe. Each faces you can fill differently. If you are putting a circle, you may not be able to fill the faces differently. In a polygon pipe, you can fill up the faces differently with different color or texture. Ultimately, we are getting a shape like this. In the sphere also, whatever texture you are filling, it will be occupying the shape of this sphere. The texture file will be square. When it curves into a sphere, the join may be visible. You will have to choose the images accordingly. The shape or any overlapping shape will be immersed in the first object. Even though these are not physically attached, but the object will be opaque inside the sphere. Now we shall see the component and styles. Style, you know, it is the appearance, how the object should appear on the screen or in print. And the components are small object we are going to create in 3D applications that is available ready-made from the 3D warehouse. These are the list of components. If you are searching in the 3D warehouse, you get lot of components that are available free. Just I picked up a component that is a multi-phase pie. If you want to create such things, it may take some time. Let us use it ready-made. Whatever is available, it is a tiling. It can be used for flooring or ceiling or even walls. Ready-made tiles, you just have to change the color and appearance or style, whatever the case may be. You can use it as a continuous seamless design. Suppose we have a component like this, we have created an object like this, and you want to change the style. Our components are available from 3D warehouse free. There are thousands of components like windows, tiles, machine parts, screw, nuts, bolt, everything. And the style is the way the component should appear. Suppose I am changing this style. There are assorted styles. It's a classified list of styles. Color styles are there. Color styles can change the colors of the objects and background. It can be positive or reverse also. Sometimes it should look like an engineering drawing. The lines will be prominent. You can make it without lines also. Even edges will be invisible. You can change the styles and color. The second one is default style. Default style we are using already. Photo modeling, it is just outline without any shading. Now this is very interesting thing. Sketch, your photograph can be made like a pencil sketch or brush strokes, realistic looking brush strokes. As you click anything, you can become a rough sketch also. Whatever, very convincing pencil drawing. People will not believe that you have made it in computer. Very convincing pencil stroke or brush strokes or crayon strokes. You can get it from this style. Even like Xerox copy also, you can make it with the broken lines. Line thickness. There are different line thicknesses available. It is a brush stroke, dry brush stroke. When you make a dry brush stroke, it can come like this. It is no more a computer aided design. It is like hand drawn design. Now straight lines, you you can select between thin line or thick line, the heavy lines, and the same styles. It is available in the 3D warehouse. It can change the background also. It is both pencil drawing plus shading. This is truly artistic. You get a very rough sketch of everything, but with the precision of and computer aided design. In the assorted styles, you get wonderful appearances, both natural and unnatural look. This kind of thing, a traditional artist or even graphic designer cannot imagine to make such an effect. Layers can be very useful when you are working in a multiple complex object. You can add your own layers and shift the object to that layer. Anyone who is familiar with any graphic designing application, they know the use of the layers. You can hide the layers with this tick marks. You can draw in a specific selected layer. When you select the layer, you can create an object in that particular layer. When you don't want that layer, you can hide it and keep it aside. That is the use of the layers. And there are dynamic components. When you select an object, especially with you can with a multiple faces, you can change the characters of the object. Just I'm selecting this object. It is a pie component, and right click dynamic components, and the number of sides it has is 10. I can make it 5 or even less, 6. Apply. It becomes a 6-sided pie. You make it 20 or 14, it becomes. You can dynamically change the number of sides or faces and arcs it has to during the job. After you have created a job also, you can change the number of faces. That is the use of the dynamic components. The attributes, you can check it. All the parameters will be applied dynamically. All the changes will be applied dynamically. This one it can show the attributes. In the dynamic component option, you can change the radius and number of slices and thickness also. Thickness is the height. The right click menu, now it is showing it is a compound object. In the right click menu, there is a zoom selection. You can zoom the selection to the full screen. You can flip it, outer shell, intersect faces with the model. If it is intersecting with some other object, it will it will remove the components from this object. That is the meaning of intersecting. From the style, we can make it as a normal artwork. Let us go to the default style. We can see all the things clearly. We have seen the layers, and now let us go to shadows. Shadow here is a universal shadow. The lighting is almost like always sunlight. Even though you can create your own lighting, for general purposes you'll be using sunlight. And here the menu bar, it is given some January, February month names are there, and the time of the day is there. You can go to any month and the shadow will change, and you can choose view shadow, and the shadow will change as per the month and the time of the day. Morning sunlight or evening sunlight, noon sunlight. You can change the shadows. Here you can adjust the shadows, light or dark. It depends on your necessities. Using this with too much of background object, you have to keep the darkness light so that the shadow is not covering the other object behind. Now there is a section called scene. Scene is a position of the camera as you are seeing on the screen. When you change the camera position, the scene can change. You can save the position of the scene, and every step you are saving, that becomes an animated view. From starting point to end point, it becomes an animation. I am saving this scene and I am rotating this drawing in a 3D view. Again saving this, removing the roof part and saving this again. Again rotate in 3D, saving this. Okay, it is a 5-step scene. It is given here, it is shown here, scene 1. And you select scene 1, it goes to the default level. Scene 2, it is the second rotation we made. Scene 3, we have removed the top. Scene 4, again it is rotating. And scene 5 is the last position. This facility is used for animation purposes. Whatever you create can be animated, and your camera position you can decide. You can look around and walk around, that we can see later. This is the isometric position, this is the top position, this is the front, right view, back view, and left view. In other applications, the total screen will be divided into 4, and you have views separately. Here they have given it in one window, and it is easy for us to manipulate also.
Let us revise the pen tool. It is very powerful. You don't have to make any rectangular for irregular shapes. You don't have to make multiple rectangles and join it. You can directly go on making it. The smart guides are there to help you. You will not go wrong with the alignments and other things. The lines will become straight line. No need of making any guides or alignment. You can very easily, like a freehand drawing, you can go on drawing it and combine it, join it to make a shape. While making straight line, at one particular point you can make them curved lines also. Automatically you drag it, it becomes the curved line. Just like this, you drag it, it becomes a curved line. You drop it also, you can continue with the same points, it will join automatically. I am just making it for demo purposes, it doesn't have any dimension or purpose, just to show you. When you fill the path, it is coming on top. You can send it to bottom layer also, fill it with colors, select and fill it. And the best part of it is the angular dimension, vertical or horizontal dimension. It can give automatically with the dimension tool. You can use it straight away or in an angular way. It is very useful for labeling purposes, dimension labeling. Point to point and drag outside, it comes as a, suppose you want to measure the angular dimensions. Mostly in any of the graphic designing program, you may not be able to measure in a angular way. Here it gives the tool for measuring point to point from any angle, any dimension, vertical or horizontal. And the pen tool gives freehand drawing also, in case you want to put any object inside which is not there, as a, you can draw it with the hand. And same thing like labeling. You select any object with the labeling tool, it gives an arrow and a place to type your text. You can put the name of the object and send it as a layout. You can save as PDF or print it. You can send it by email to your customer. It gives the saving option as layout, document, PDF. You can export to PDF, PNG, and GPG also. The ellipse tool gives a facility for lozenge tool also. It's like a capsule form. with all the corners curved. Again, the constraint is shift. If you press shift, it comes uniform. If you press alt, it draws from the center, and drag it to make it as a capsule. That is called lozenge tools. You can circle tool in the same menu. Circle tool, ellipse, and lozenge, both three are there. Ellipse tool, it can freely give you elongate a circle and give to you as a shape. And polygonal, it can give you object with different surfaces, different faces. You can draw from the center also, you can draw from the edge also with control and shift. While drawing only, you can rotate the object. In any doubt, you can refer to the instructor panel. It gives all the details. If any information is missing also, you can go to more instruction. It is linked to the online instruction. You can get the instruction for that tool. Let us see the preferences of layout module. The preferences is the most important part of any application. It can modify your application to suit your tastes and preferences. Your application, location, drawing options, extensions. We know the SketchUp is giving a lot of extension. That is the facilities to improve the functionality and the keyboard shortcuts. You can assign your own keyboard shortcuts by combining several. Just click in the keyboard, you can get it there. Then you can save that. Just command option, command shift W. You go on clicking, assigning the shortcut. And here the templates. SketchUp comes with a set of templates. You can use it. These are the resetting or workspace. Model info in PC, it gives information about the drawing. In Mac version, the preferences window is there for modifying everything. The model info, you can save many other data along with this. You can save more informations about the design and the ownership, geolocation. You can add a location and rendering, the quality of rendering, and statistic, text and font information, and unit. Unit you can make it as a mm, inches, or foot, or meter. Here we are in 3D module. It gives an interface like this with a person standing. To understand the axis, x, y, and z axis, when you draw a rectangle, it comes on the floor. You can fill it with your favorite materials, and you are given a list of materials, library of materials. The filling bucket tool is the filler. You select the material and fill it with your bucket tool. Rotate it in any angle. SketchUp is giving some textures that can be used for any purposes. They are similar to natural textures like wall, floor, water, glass. Texture you will be using after you finish the object designing part. Now, in the beginning, you should know what are things are available. So, and there is a layer menu. You can have several layers and scene. SketchUp Pro can animate through screen scenes between one scene to another scene. It can animate. This is the shadow setting for lighting. 3D warehouse. We have seen. You can have your own texture also. Now let us try to make it extrude this. The lofting tool can make a 2D object into 3D. It can vertically or horizontally. You can extrude this one. You put different textures for different faces. The visibility of texture depends on the size of if the object is too big and you are filling the texture, it will multiple several times on the screen. It may not look okay. This is like a contour. It duplicates the object into smaller or bigger versions that you can modify it later. If you want to make a concentric circle, you can make it. You can make a smaller rectangle uniforms with a uniform scaling. You can do it with this tool. These portions can be scaled or extruded separately. We know the shapes are created with faces and edges. Faces can be rotated. Individual faces can be colored, textured, or even rotated separately, irrespective of the object position. Just select one face of this tube. Let us try to rotate it. When you rotate it, the object joining the face will also take reshape its position and size. Just let us try to rotate this into the whole thing. Any adjacent object also is affected. It is a kind of creating a wing. If you do it perfectly, you can get a specific angular curvature of an object that can be like it may be used in spacecraft or any aerodynamic moving object. Again, I rotated both sides, colored it. It is looking like a flying object with a tail and a body. Here we are using the angular rectangle, and you go on drawing with the guides. It becomes a step like arrangement. But when you view in 3D, in one axis it is okay. You have to rotate and check the objects whether it is correct or not. When you rotate it, it shows our mistakes. We were planning to make steps, but it's not a step. What we are going to do is just make two steps and repeat it. I'm making a random step with two squares or even
extrude it to make them into cubes. What I'm going to do is just copy these two cubes to make further patterns. Select Control in PC, Command in Mac. It has become a regular brick pattern. Again, duplicate all these things into copy and duplicate command, drag. It becomes a big brick pattern. Alternative spaces occupied. When you move the cube on top of it, again you will have problem in aligning this globe to the 3D space. Before you get satisfied, you have to see from all the angles so that you are sure this object is where you want to be. Now it is somewhat okay. If you want to touch to object, you can bring it down. Again, check the position. The file we exported just now, I'm going to import it in the SketchUp 3D module. When I place the file on the floor, it gives a bitmap image because it is exported as PDF bitmap file. Let us trace it very easily. Instead of exporting as a bitmap, I export as a PDF because anyway we'll have to define individual walls and objects in bit and pieces so that individually we can have control over the further operations. It is easy, not very difficult. Once we recreate it, it becomes something like this, and you can extrude the walls, individual walls, to create a room, and partitions also, partition walls. That can create a complete structure, what your final is going to look like. The garden area is shown here, and furniture layouts is also there, dimensions are also there. This is how you have to create a 2D 3D object from 2D. This is not the only way. You can export as a importable format, even direct to SketchUp format also you can export it, and it gives a lines, vector objects. You can work on that in SketchUp. You can color or paint the walls to see the room appearance after it has been finished. Let us see some more examples of created 3D images. These are all from warehouse, 3D warehouse. It is an aircraft. It is just to show the perfection it can reach. SketchUp Pro can accurately recreate any object without any difficulty with simple to use tools, and you can even animate also. This is an example of home garden project. Not only you can create the home, you can decorate with naturally looking gardens, furnitures and other things. You can adjust the shadow, adjust the position of the sunlight. It is given as date and time. Not all the months of the year can give equal light sunlight, so they have given time and date also to adjust the sunlight position. Morning sunlight will be very shallow, and noon sunlight will be very harsh. Accordingly you can create the lighting. This is an example of natural objects like stone, mountain, things like that. The texture applied here is the real photographs. So this is another example of a plane with a different color and different texture, and this is arbitrary one of the rough sketches with a simple to use tools like and standard picture as a texture. When finished it looks like this with a for product branding you can use all kind of things like this. You can put your own branding, cover the whole object with your brand. This is an example of forest or garden, big garden with orderly placed trees with a fog at the distance. The trees you can rotate 360 degrees in case you want a backdrop with snow. This is an example of a mountain valley showing the road going through the mountains. It is filled with texture of a mountain, real aerial photography of a mountain. This is an alien space, some unknown space with rocks and trees. The distance view is covered by snow or fog. What you are seeing on top, scene 1, scene 2, is for when you record different positions, it will animate from one position to the other position. This is showing a tower with different scene modes. Again the same thing with distant fog. When you click to scene number 1, 2, it changes its position, the camera position, and it rotates accordingly as an animation. It is really a walkthrough. Here comes an aircraft. Again, it is in scene mode, different camera angles. You see the accuracy of the drawing. SketchUp Pro is not a simple program as such. When you are able to make such a complicated object, it cannot be a simple program. It is very useful program, but easy to use. This is also another scenery created by some designers, published in 3D warehouse. It shows the plane arriving and the balloons flying and the camera rotating. The atmosphere is also changing. The camera goes down below the plane of surface. This is a nice boat shown in 360-degree angles. Every bit of details is available here. A shadow and lighting not applied here. It's a plain creation. It is the cityscape of a building. Usually, this technique is used for putting landmarks in the Google Map. They have copied the top photograph, aerial photograph, and they have recreated on the photograph. When you go to Google Map, you can find many structure like this. They are all created by SketchUp Pro. Any prominent landmark. This is a twin tower, Malaysia, created in SketchUp Pro. All the floor images are taken from Google Map. These are all household items created with SketchUp Pro with naturally looking silver reflection. Let us see some of the 3D examples. From the house, I removed the roof to see the inside things. Different position of the camera, you can save it as a scene. When you save it as scene, it becomes an animation when you switch on the scene. Or you can pan by manually with the hand tool, or by, this is the tower, world's tallest tower. I put a logo in the front, created in SketchUp and kept it for animation. You can create a simple drawing to up to a plane or aircraft, spacecraft, like complicated designs in SketchUp. One of the example you are seeing now. All these sample images you can get from the warehouse, 3D warehouse. You can instead of starting from scratch, you can start with the available object. You get object in every subject so that you can complete your project with the ready-made available samples. Let us quickly create one structure. I have drawn a polygon and putting circle at every point of the polygon. Now it looks like a single object, but the objects will remain different, individual objects. Let us try to elevate it by push-pull action. It creates some pillar-like appearance. You can rotate and see the appearance, whether it is correct or not. Each pillar is having different size and shape, so it is just for a sample purpose. You can always adjust it afterwards. It is not done as per scale or any measurement. It is a random creation. The same way, we can create another copy of the middle floor with a little less size and extrude it to become another structure. You experiment with all the tools like rotation in. Now it is in vertical angle. It's not okay. Then we'll do it the rotation the same axis of its standing. So it gives an interesting shape. Let us see some more components. It is a staircase component from component warehouse. You can just use it. You can modify it. It is a group. When you double click any group, it becomes individual. You can select the individual components like this. You can change the texture or mostly SketchUp Pro is used for architectural purposes. So you can, all the example you find will be the architectural related, but it is not limited to architecture. You can create even life forms, engineering drawing, and many other things. Even live plants and grass, natural products you can create in SketchUp Pro. This is another example of staircase component. It is a two-story. It is useful for two-story buildings. Again, you can extend it. You can scale it, adjust the heights. Lot of things, lot of modification can be done. With the scaling tool, you can scale it. The surface, texture, everything you can change. Either you can have a wooden structure or a metal or concrete, or you can just put some colors. In the edit menu, you have edge style. Edges, either you can make it visible or you can hide it. When you hide it, it gives more natural look than the drawing look. And when you hide it, and with the back edge, you can see the edges behind your image, behind your surface also. The face style, either you can have monochrome, X-ray. X-ray is a see-through. wireframe. You can have a simple wireframe, hidden line. Whatever is behind will be hidden. Shaded. It's the normally you shaded with textures. It can show you the textures. In the automation, you can add scene. You have three options: save as a new style, update the selected style, do nothing, and set it. The scene is created. And whenever you make any changes or you change the camera or anything, and you can add scene, it saves the new position as a new scene. When you switch the scenes, it animates through the steps. Whatever steps you followed, it can animate. Just see, it rotates through, it rotates exactly how you rotated it. The camera menu here gives the standard views like what we have seen here. The buttons are there already. Standard views, top, bottom, front and back. Parallel projection is for you have the option to save this image as a photo. Make new photo. You can save it as a new photo, JPG or any available format. So 2-point perspective is perspective in only two axes. These two axes, pan and zoom, it is already there in the buttons. Orbit is to rotate the object along the any axis, z axis most probably. Zoom tool, it gives selective zoom window. Only the selected area will be zoomed. It is a zoom selection. Zoom extends, it is covering the whole area. The complete object will be shown on the screen. Camera positioning, you have the camera here. The position of the camera, accordingly the object will be shown on the screen. Irrespective of the camera position, we can view the object from any angle with this tool, RB tool, and there is a hand panning tool is there. Wherever the camera is, these tools can give you a closer look at the object. Walk is for walkthrough. It can take you there deep inside the objects, and you can see, go directly inside the image, and you can see around, look around. You can see the surroundings. Any object is remaining to be displayed. Draw tools have lines. It is having a shortcut. Lines, arc, 2-point. Everything we have seen in the layout module. The same thing can work here also. Shapes, rectangle, rotated rectangle, circles, polygon. You can create a contour from here. Sandbox. The tools menu. All the tools are available already in the buttons. Eraser, paint bucket, move, rotate, scale, push pull, follow me. Everything is there in the toolbox. This thing we have not explained. You can enter any text and create a 3D text. Just type the text and place it somewhere. The text is already in 3D. You can rotate in any angle, like you are rotating any 3D object. Position the text the way you want to keep it. You can use the text. The text will be in 3D. The whole group becomes, depending on the fill pattern material you used, the text will be. It is a 3D object. You can do any kind of modification that you are doing with the 3D, any other 3D object. By default, the text is positioned like any other 3D object creation. It will be positioning at the ground level x-axis. Now here it comes in y-axis. You can rotate and reposition it with the protractor tool vertically or horizontally. You can rotate it. When you create text only, its parameter and extrusion is defined already. Height, I make it as 60 mm. Please, when you look from perspective view, you can see the height here is different from the height there, 60 mm. The extrusion factor is more. I'm closing the edges so that you can. The material used here is transparent, so we shall change it. You can use any synthetic surface. It remains transparent only. Change the rendering mode. Your view will be changing. The tools menu. You have three text dimensions. Advanced camera tool. You can create one more camera. You can reset camera. Camera type you can select. The lens. Lens focal length starting from 16 mm. 16 mm super 16 camera aperture. 16 mm super 16 HD TV. 35 mm it is for the normal SLR. 65 mm medium. And digital camera, even the sensor dimension it is given mostly with 4.4:3. Sensor is smaller size and is gives the 4:3 ratio of the screen size, and the aperture is 1.8, here 1.7. Lot of parameters. It is as if you are having a variety of camera and lenses with you. These are the branded tools. Then photography, 35 mm SLR. This is all these things, different variants of different brands. 4/3 system is the sensor size. It is 4/3 of 35 mm size. The sensor. Medium format Kodak. These are all. If you have handled any other camera and photographic systems, you will understand. This Mamiya is mostly used for medium format camera. Nikon, Pentax, Sony, everything. Each camera has its own specification and value. So whichever camera you like to use, you can choose your camera so that the result you can expect. The window menu, you have the trace. All these things you can manage. I add delete the trace from here, window tray. Entry, material, components, styles, layers, scenes, shadows, fog, match photo, soften edges, instructor, outliner. All these things are there. You can manage the trace. You can add, delete, or you can add new items. You can choose from the available items. You can add it. You can delete it if you want to delete it. Remove it if you don't need it.
Model info is a very useful menu. It gives the option to control the scene transitions, classification components, fade similar components, fade rest of the model. You can fade the other ones in case something is in the background you want to make it out of attraction. You can use it component fading, and you can add your credit informations, ownership informations, and dimensions, points or mm's. The scale can be aligned to the screen or aligned to dimensions line. It is a file version, and geolocation, rendering, the statistics. You get all the information about your job. Text parameters you can change, and unit you can change to decimal, engineering, fractional, architectural. Whatever you have seen so far is a part of what you can explore in SketchUp Pro. As a beginner, you can explore and find lot more facilities, and you go to the libraries of 3D warehouse. You get lot of things. Whatever you get as a component, its system can enhance your functionality, and plugins are available. Ready-made 3D components are available. Plugins are available. When as you go on adding the plugins, this menu toolbar will go on increasing its size. If you see some professionals, they will have 2-3 lines full of buttons. They might have added so many functionalities to 3D. Even rendering is there, creation, rendering, lighting. There are plugins for lighting, and there are plugins for creating natural grass, lawn. Everything is there. It is a continuously improving program, and a lot of work is done on it. Every designer ultimately save their work in warehouse, SketchUp warehouse, like 3D warehouse, and you can get many information how to create a complex object from videos published by the designers, your fellow designers, and your education process will never stop in SketchUp Pro, because more and more plugins will be available every day, and more you'll be going on adding your strength by upgrading your software and extending its capabilities through warehouse. Hope this session finds very useful. Let us some aspects I have not covered, like creating extrusion of multiple dimensions, like tubular structure. Some parts I have covered, but not completely. Many things are still to be explored. You can just go through the software. Just you can try it for yourself. It is very easy to understand. Instructions are available. Whenever you click any object, you get live instructions. Hope the training is useful. Have a nice day. Thank you.